Hey guys, this is some B-roll footage of projects that didn't quite make it onto the YouTube for various reasons. This is a quick downtown Minneapolis job, an alleyway job that we did, but it's worth discussing in a little bit more detail, and we'll get to that. This is a project that almost put an end to my company. And we definitely need to discuss some lessons learned. First, let's discuss the Minneapolis. I guess it's kind of a duplex, multiplex apartment building. I was hired initially to do the site prep before the concrete parking pad was in. It was full of vegetation, full of old stumps, full of everything. So, this is 2 months later. He poured the cement pad. There was a big, huge stump down here, right in the intersection, massive old stump. And there's a tree in the back that one of the tenants really wanted, so I had to transplant it. Now, the Bulldog does do some landscaping, but I'm not really the guy that plants bushes and shrubs or tries to transplant them. But you want me to hit a root ball with pallet forks? Well, I'll do it and bring it to the front and I guess hand dig around there and try to transplant a bush. And this is our finished result. We use a Minnesota MnDOT Class 5 crushed limestone, so if they drive off the concrete area, it's all right. And we use this riprap on the backside as a visual as well as a block for the snowplow driver when they crash into the fence. And this was a project that we had in the books. It was total lawn renovation, blow it up, regrade it, reseed it, rock and roll. However, this is where I learned working with a small business, a husband and wife team, that not everyone, including my wife, has the same risk threshold as I do. See, this project started with a 3 foot high, half moon retaining wall of 8 by 16-inch landscape blocks. And I remember talking to the wife that I was a little nervous using the tractor to lift, heavy landscape blocks all on slopes. How am I going to do it? And then once I, dismantle the retaining wall, well, then I got to transverse a side slope to get it into the backyard because the homeowner, the client, actually wanted to keep the blocks. He just wanted them broke down into pallets, palletized, and brought into the backyard. And I remember talking to the wife about how I was going to do this, not tip over, not kill myself. And apparently that may may have spooked the wife a little bit right out of the gate. And here you'll see an extra pallet in the back of dump truck. So I was late getting to the project site for X amount of reasons, and the crew already beat me to the project site, which I never like to have happen. So I was already feeling, production pressure to get to work, get going, get started. So I didn't quite get even the start of the project on video. On the other side of the driveway, there was a hedgerow and there was 50, 60 stumps that we had to, clear and grub, stump grind, that kind of thing. But the problem was that we already had a dumpster that was supposed to be delivered. However, that dumpster was delivered 5 houses away on completely the different different house. So we were dealing with getting that dumpster picked up out of someone's house that never called for a dumpster. Oh, by the way, they couldn't come and get that. They wouldn't drop off another dumpster. So it was, how are we going to clear up this area right in front of us where I'm pointing that was completely hedgerowed? What are we going to do with all that debris? Where are we going to bring it? How are we going to dispose of it? And how are we going to get the project going? So I called the wife, and her task is usually setting up the dumpsters for us for debris removal. Well, between what I was talking to her earlier about and what was going on, it happening in real time with the dumpster, she was trying to call dumpster places on the weekend and, not getting anyone. She was feeling the pressure of, working on a slope. Apparently, I may have put some thoughts into her head about rolling and dying. And now the dumpster, the task that she was tasked with, that fell apart on it. So it was a quick hurry up fire drill. Go rent a dump trailer and just start making round robin trips to the landscape nursery place to drop off the debris. Anyways, that about took the wife and sent her into ballistic mode, and this project about put every stress on the business as possible. So although there were lots of fingers to be pointed about, balls being dropped, there were lots of issues with, how are we going to navigate the side slopes, how are we going to do this, that, and other thing. At the end of the day, contractors are hired to solve problems. You don't pay someone to come over and tell you all the problems and all the finger pointing. No, you pay the money to a contractor to take all those problems and find solutions to every problem. And that's exactly what we did. We just got to work. There's always going to be subcontractors dropping a ball. You need to adapt and overcome and understand it's not the end of the world. And I think you know how this story ends. The Bulldog went in there. We knocked it out of the park. We did a quality job. We met the customer expectations. We did it without tipping anything over. No one got hurt. Everything was just fine. Sure, there were some speed bumps. And hey, I learned how to discuss construction with my wife. Well, if you made it to the end, I hope you saw a couple ideas that maybe you can incorporate into your own project or your own land. If nothing else, I hope you got a takeaway that be careful how you discuss problems with people because not everyone is at the same level of risk that you may be. And when you start talking about risks and problems, realize that your audience may or may not conceive those risks and problems as, showstoppers. If you're going to be a contractor, make sure that you're talking to your audience and reassuring them that everything is fine and you have mitigation plans to make sure that everyone's going to go home safe and make sure that the project is going to be constructed professionally and get it done to client satisfaction. Hey, thanks for sticking along and looking forward to the next year, and cheers from the Bulldog. Hey, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. And remember, if you see me doing it, I know you can do it too. Be safe out there, communicate effectively, and cheers from the Bulldog, guys. Take care.